back! Hello everybody, DarkPhoenix Gaming here, and welcome back to Stellaris Ancient Relics with the High Kingdom of Terra. Last time we left off, we had just had first contact with the Lenara Corporate Holdings, who have a slightly stronger fleet than we do according to the game's approximations. So, at the moment, we're trying to simultaneously build up our fleet so we're actually equivalent, seize some of the choke points so they only have one way into our empire, and continue to push north and east. Or I suppose that would be rimward and coreward if you want to use those particular ways of designating directions, so that we can nab some more territory and possibly get a handful more colonies. Speaking of colonies, last time around, we also found and colonized a size 18 Gaia world, which right now has 2 colonists on it, and we're going to need to build some stuff. I'm thinking at the moment that we want Elysium to be our food production world. And we have another pop that's growing in, so first of all, I'm going to take Elysium and put down an agricultural district. Secondly, we started colonizing Tritonus here, which is a size 15 continental. And in our space, we also have a size 18 continental and a size 10 Gaia. The problem with the size 18 continental is it has an anomaly, meaning we cannot actually start colonizing it because of that anomaly, which I personally view as being kind of dumb, to be honest. I think you should be able to colonize planets with anomalies, it just should have the potential to screw you over. But that anomaly is going to be where I will be sending my science ship that I have busy on this excavation once he's done there, which shouldn't be too long actually. We also, as it happens, found this system here that contains an abundance of valuable minerals. But this system has a rather nasty secret that comes out when you try to start excessively mining those minerals. So I'm going to hold off on mining that system, though we will be adding it to our space probably. Down here, in that system, we're building a starbase, and Moro, then moving to the 4 system. That's another 3 months worth of influence to add 4 to our territory, which once we get that will give us a choke point we can make use of. Because we're inevitably going to go to war with these guys to try and make them our subject. That's going to happen at some point, though we're a long way off considering our fleet is under 1,000 strength currently. But I think it's high time that we got started. I'll put us onto fast speed, and we've now finished with this. Our consumer goods production is kind of going down, though.
Construction complete.
Construction of a star base there is done. As I was saying, our consumer goods production has gone down a bunch. Let's see, we have 1 clerk job available for when this new pop grows in on Terra. But once we finally need new jobs here on Terra and hit the size 30, the next thing I'm going to build is going to be civilian industries, so we can have more consumer goods. Only producing 1 a month is not going to cut it, and even that's not going to last very long, to be honest. But this archaeology thing is up to 90% completion, so I'd say it's basically guaranteed that we will get that on the next go-around. Okay. Now...
Anomaly found.
Okay. Observing the massive asteroid 234-2340, we have found something. Further investigation is warranted. That's going to take too long. Leave it be for now. As I was saying, we're going to build our outpost in 4 now because we can. That'll give us a choke point against these guys, if we ever need to fight them. It would be nice to get Aoi Crikey too, but I don't think we're going to be successful at that. At the very least, 4 will give us a choke point, and we will have rare crystals for once we get that resource. Our archaeology site has now been finished. The discovery of the first crashed flying machine set us on the right path, and led to the discovery of a multitude of similar crash sites littering the surface of the planet. Without a doubt, these strange dead machines have something to do with the mysterious geometric shapes that dot this world. The extent of the damage caused by crash landings from high altitude will make analysis difficult. Keep on digging. That gets us 3 minor artifacts, and we're now on to chapter 3 with this. This is proving to be quite the interesting archaeology thing, honestly. I'm loving the archaeology system in this update. It's honestly kind of awesome. We're currently busy checking out this system of those guys, but we're about to add that to our space.
Inbound message traffic.
I told you before, we're not interested in a bloody commercial pact. A commercial pact would tie our economies together. And we don't want that, not until they become our subject at any rate. Which is going to be a while. Now, get us another ship in our Classes 1 fleet, please. And we will go from there, I suppose. Busy over here building some mining stations.
Construction complete.
Okay. How far off are we from that? Quite a while as far as influence goes. So, let's work on building up the couple of resource places we've nabbed there. Then you can move over into that system.
Construction complete.
Soul Starbase has another ship in that fleet now. We're up to 500 strength.
Construction complete.
There we go. But now, you can actually know. I will have you stay put over on the edge of the system so I can jump them over to start doing more building at a later date. For now, the north is fairly open to us, so I'm going to take advantage of that as soon as we secure the choke point. Which we've done, but I'd like to secure that one as well if possible. But we found another strategic resource. The HMS Strabo has discovered a previously unknown strategic resource on this asteroid, dubbed volatile motes. These preternatural particles contain a tremendous amount of energy which could be exploited in energy production, as fuel, or even as explosives. While we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control over the system for future exploitation. I'll put it on my to-do list. That's quite a long to-do list at the moment, though, so we probably won't be getting to that anytime soon. And our first couple of rolls on this archaeology project have gone pretty well. We've added clues on both. So now,
System reconnaissance completed.
it's no longer possible to fail to get clues, which is very nice. Go survey those systems for me, then move on to there. And they've grabbed that system, so 4 is going to be my front line. And our guys down here, once we finish that surveying, I'm going to have them do an emergency FTL jump in order to get out of this region. Actually, since there's not really any point, I take that back. We're not going to have to do an emergency jump. I forgot that, but these guys haven't closed their borders to me yet. So, you, science ship, make your way over there and start exploring that for me. Our scientist has leveled up and gained... No, he already had expertise in Voidcraft. He's just level 2 now. Now we are up to 30% on our odds of getting a breakthrough. We're making some nice progress on that archaeology project. I have no need to push further south. That avenue is closed for now. You move up to there and we'll start claiming systems up here to our north. Work on that for me. 30% odds. I'm doing very well so far. Okay, build me a starbase there. And we'll start pushing north. We're kind of struggling for influence at the moment, but I can get some starbase up and running for that whole set of affairs.
Anomaly found.
Okay, what have you got for me? Okay, that's in the RI system, I guess. Scans have indicated an interesting find on the surface of T35-R1M. It seems to be an abandoned mining station, but our science ship sensors have picked up fluctuating energy signals originating from within the station. It would appear that the facility is still active. Well, research it for me then. I would very much like to know what is up with that. Active mining stations aren't generally active in the middle of no man's land. That's what I like to call pretty damn unusual. Indeed it is. %er on our success in that archaeology project at the moment. Nice. And our science ship is on its way over there to start exploring another region of space. Nanobot mining. That'll be the thing we were looking into there. Despite encountering initial difficulties when landing on the surface, the expedition team, led by Spuria Quirinius, managed to enter the station safely. Following their suit sensors, the team began to make the arduous journey into the depths of the facility. towards where the unstable energy signals were originating from. What they found was quite extraordinary. Irregular energy signals were produced by swarms of nanobots, which, despite their age and lack of maintenance, seemed to have not forgotten their purpose. The team watched in awe as the nanobots, for lack of a better term, devoured seemingly useless rocks and stones, digested the contents, excreted the useless materials into a disposal box, and regurgitated the valuable minerals into a retrieval collection, which doesn't seem to have been emptied for some time. Yes, I'm sure their creators won't mind if we help ourselves to the minerals. Oh wow, that's 1,000 minerals.
Construction complete.
I know what I'm gonna do here. We will sell 2,000 minerals. And then use that exchange plus a bit of our own energy credits to buy a bunch of alloys, so that I can expand the fleet a bit further. Strange signal, eh? An observatory above Terra has picked up a transmission. Unlike technology currently available to us, it consists of simple electromagnetic waves that carry information at the speed of light. While the signal is faint from traveling for years through the vast emptiness of space, it is looped, so we should be able to reconstruct and decipher it with ease. Bring it up on screen. Recorded message. Hi there, this is Professor Wuka Zaor of the Valintu Extrasolar Intelligence Institute speaking. We are sending this message across the galaxy. And let's actually pause the damn game. We are sending this message across the galaxy in the hope of reaching our brothers in intelligence. We do not have the technology to travel between the stars, but we hope that you can. By the time this message will reach you, all those who participated in its recording will likely be dead. We are hopeful that you will honor our descendants with your visit. I know that our civilization is far from perfect, but still we hope that we can find ground for mutual understanding and be able to learn from each other. Maybe we shall check up on them.
New sitrep.
So, where's that going to be? And you start building that for me. And you park yourself there. So now, a little bit of this. Yes, we have a couple of projects that need examinationing. Grey Disciples. I'll have to go check that fairly soon. The next thingamawhatsit. Study the stars for Valintu signal. It's actually pretty close by, so we'll be paying a visit to those guys fairly soon, I think. Very soon indeed. So, keep that in mind. Now, okay, we're building another 5 ships for our
Anomaly
fleet.
found.
Bring us up to 18 total. There is significant scarring on the surface of this world in a pattern that cannot be natural. In orbit, the massive rifts almost look like writing. Oh, it's this event chain, is it? Research that, and yeah, I already know what this one is, but I won't spoil it for those of you who aren't familiar, but it's kind of amusing, honestly, the way this always ends up happening, and it's one of those cool narrative things in Stellaris that I always love. Now let's plunk down a civilian industries on Terra so that we can start producing more consumer goods and offset that little shortage.
Construction complete.
Archaeological site has been fully excavated. Show me. Scheduled for demolition. After recovering one of the more intact crashed wrecks and reverse engineering it, the purpose of this orbital network became clear. The machines were automated cutting beams placed around Jansen 4. Their function was to completely dismantle the planet, carving it up piece by piece over a span of centuries. Not long after the endeavor began, perhaps a few decades based on projections, something interrupted the procedure. The automated cutters lost power and their orbit decayed, till one by one they smashed themselves to bits on the planet's surface. Theories abound as to why anyone would do this, whether it was mining on a hitherto unimagined scale, some obscure doomsday cult to break and remake the world, a quirk of unknowable alien psychology, or just code that went awry after the original creators vanished, none can say. Very intriguing indeed, and that gets us a bunch of engineering research. So, that archaeology project is quite finished now. So, you guys, I have a couple of orders for you. First, go off and investigate the anomaly in Sirius. Then go to the projects in Barnard Star and Bridmorvine, or however the hell you say that. Note to self, start renaming places you can't pronounce. Then you can check out Alpha Centauri. Wait a second. There's the Dome Complex. In this area. I think we want to do that first, so the scientists can go off and do a bunch of projects now that they're finished with all of that stuff. The archaeology project, I mean. Pi. The rifts on Eri-1 are indeed writing. According to the survey team, it states the first 196 digits of pi as expressed in base 14, prominent sociologists are now speculating furiously as to why the authors believed anyone capable of reading this message would need the information. Very peculiar indeed, and we get 150 society research out of that. Continue our survey efforts. And we're working on our last research station down here.
Science Division
That
report
shit moves
success.
up. Our research into more defensive defense armors and naval capacity from soldier jobs has gone up. Sorry, I said gone up. I mean it's available to us now. So, next things on our list that we can research: ocean ecology management to be able to clear toxic kelp, hydroponic farms, and more society research from researchers. Let's check on our planets what tile blockers there are. Dangerous wildlife and active volcanoes on Elysium. That's it. What of Tritonus? It has toxic kelp, but it's just one. Clearing one tile blocker is not worth an entire research slot. Terra still has a bunch of tile blockers I can clear away. One of which will actually give me an extra pop, so I should have done that one a long damn time ago. Get me a pop. That way someone can be working the civilian industries job. Speaking of which, you know how when you control shift click when adding orders to the queue with your science ships and such, I would love it if you could do that with build queues and just use that sort of system to reorder the build queue if something new becomes available that you want before was currently in your queue, but you don't want to have to reset. But you don't want to have to take everything out and then put it back in. That would just be really useful. Just one of my random thoughts for your perusal. You know. Anyways, check on the other places. 1 toxic kelp on Sirius 3. Not worth it. No toxic kelp on this planet that's a name I can't pronounce. Just dangerous wildlife, so I'm sorry toxic kelp, but you are not worth it. And we're actually doing very good for food right now. I don't think we need hydroponics farms at this point in time. I'll no doubt come back to it later, but I think society research is my best bet for the moment. Next, we have enough for another tradition, which is going to finish unlocking the expansion tree and buff our administrative cap. Currently, our total size is 45, our administrative cap is 30, so we're slightly above of the cap and getting a few minor penalties. This won't put us below our cap for long, but for maybe a few systems, it's time it will. That also gives us an Ascension perk. So when it comes to the vanilla Ascension perks, I have a small handful that are basically what I always go for. Just because I find them so much more useful. We're playing as a feudal empire. Shared destiny I'm not going to go with because we won't be integrating many of our subjects. We'll be letting them be our subjects, is how I see it. So we're not going to be absorbing them. Transcended learning is all well and good, but I don't think so. Not for our first pick. Edict duration definitely has its uses, and longer edicts really helps, especially when it comes to the one that increases my energy income and such. Not having to cast those as often will really save me a ton of influence. But I'm thinking that might be our second one that we go for. Since they updated it for 2.2, I've literally never taken Mastery of Nature. It's just not worth it. Imperial Prerogative? I don't think so. One Vision, to my mind, is kind of useless. Technological Ascendancy, that can be really cool, and having better tech research is nice, but I don't think I want it for my first pick. Nihilistic Acquisition, I've never used, but I can see unlocking the ability to raid enemies being quite handy if you're not playing as barbaric despoilers, and you want to be able to raid for slaves rather than having to take over enemy planets to get yourself some slaves. But I'd already decided prior to getting this, I'm going to go with Interstellar Dominion. Early game, we're going to be expanding our borders quite a lot, so having to spend less influence cost on putting up new star bases will help us save a lot in the way of influence and help us to be able to expand a bit faster. And if we ever decide to put down claims on enemies, rather than simply vassalizing them, then having those be cheaper is also really handy. This, to my mind, Interstellar Dominion is actually one of the most useful Ascension perks in the entire game. Just based on the way I play, so that's what we're going for. The stars beckon and we follow, may nothing stand between us and them. And that's what we'll be going for. So, let's just carry on then. Build me an outpost in the wormhole system. I think we need one there, because we do.
Construction complete.
There. Crown Princess Decima Autumn Star has gained a level, though how our heir is managing to gain a level, I don't know. What exactly is it that the heir of a monarchy does to gain experience? I've never been able to work that out, because she's next in line to the throne, and I suppose it depends on how do I put this? I guess that sort of thing would basically depend on how merit-based the monarchy is and how much nepotism is involved at their upper echelons. Because she could basically be overseeing some of the administrative bureaucratic elements that the Emperor doesn't have time to deal with and doesn't want to appoint someone not from his family to deal with, or she could just be sitting on her ass doing jack shit. It really depends. And that's something I'm not quite decided on how I want it to be said that it is in this playthrough, narratively speaking.
Special project complete.
Ancient Zoo. Oh, this is one of the anomalies that we sent our scientists off to deal with. An expedition down this shaft has revealed an entire self-contained biome in a gargantuan cavern. Creatures representing at least 3 separate tropical plants have been cataloged so far. The system is heavily automated with a multitude of specialized drones observing, maintaining, and at times culling the population, artificially maintaining the food cycle as well as the facility itself. A 37-hour day-night cycle is simulated using a slow-moving artificial light bar on the roof of the cavern, powered by geothermal taps buried even deeper into the surface. This artificial ecosystem is estimated to be over 40,000 years old, and is beginning to break down in ways the automated systems cannot repair. Here, Spurious Floridius estimates the facility will reach a critical failure point within the next millennium or so. So, option 1, we break down the machinery and reverse engineer the technology. I get a bunch of engineering research and the nutrient replication tech option with a teeny tiny amount of progress towards it. Or we turn it into a dissection lab and just get some science. I think we're gonna break it down and reverse engineer the technology, actually. I've never seen that tech before, so it would seem to be something that would be really nice to see. So we'll have a look at that and see what it actually is.
Construction complete.
4 down here. I need another 47 alloys to be able to start upgrading this, because this system is my choke point. against our inevitable enemy. Meaning, we're going to want to fortify that system so that we can hold against them during any confrontation. There we go. Now I have the resources to do it. So, begin starport upgrade. This is going to be our front line.
Construction complete.
Sol Starbase has finished building a bunch more ships, meaning our fleet is almost at its command limit now. We just need 2 more ships, and we'll have reached that command limit. For now, though, we can take care of this anomaly over at Sirius, because then I'll actually be able to colonize the planet, which will surely be very nice, since that planet's just been sitting there in the middle of my space uncolonized for ages.
Anomaly found.
We've detected multiple solid structures in close proximity to the star. Further scans are necessary. That's going to take too long. Leave it. Now we're producing 10 consumer goods. Far better than the 1 we were before. Get over to the snub system, add that to my space. Single-minded over on Sirius 3. First glance, it appears to be inhabited by a diverse plethora of life forms, coexisting in an ecosystem similar to our own. Well, when they say similar to our own, no doubt they mean similar to our own, just not nuked to near extinction. Because this is definitely not a tomb world, unlike Terra/Earth. Similar to our, as I said, similar to our own, in which nutrients cycle the food chain through photosynthesis, decomposition, and predation. Okay, that makes more sense, I guess. Upon closer inspection, however, the crew discovered that though all living things on Sirius 3 have developed as individuals, most first, they now, by mysterious design, operate as a single organism. An organism that responds to all outside interference with fierce and indiscriminate aggression. So Sirius gets dangerous wildlife and savage wildlands. Less habitability, less happiness, but more society resources.